Hey guys, thank you so much for coming to my This Is Us Season 1 finale chat. If you are in the room, go ahead and say hello. I see that Firkin is here. Thanks so much for being here. Please say hi if you are here so I can see how many people are in the room because once again, I think it's just stopped telling me how many people are here. I can't tell unless you say hello. But anyway, there's R2BB8. Thank you for being here. I'm just really interested to see what you guys thought about the finale. Hopefully you've had a chance to watch my reaction video so you know what I think about it. We have Brianna and Vanessa. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Which is interesting because I was looking on Facebook after the finale, and hi, Callie. Thank you for being here. And I saw a lot of people complaining because we didn't find out how Jack died. So a lot of people therefore did not like the finale. And you know my reaction. I was really happy that he didn't die. We all know that he is going to die. They're not going to change that. But we didn't find out how he died. And I was okay with that because I thought it was a great episode that really explored the relationship of Jack and Rebecca and how they met and everything. And I loved it. Hi, Ralph. Thank you so much for being here. Firkin says that you like the finale. But what were your thoughts about the finale? If you didn't like it, let me know why. It was interesting because I follow Mandy Moore on Instagram and Twitter, and she made posts on both talking about that we should be patient as fans for those of us who didn't like the finale because, you know, they will get into how he died, but they didn't do it for the finale, and, you know, we shouldn't be upset. So Vanessa says you're kind of glad that there wasn't a cliffhanger for the finale. Right, so there was no cliffhanger at all. And, you know, usually if this was like a murder mystery show, I would probably be angry and be like, oh my God, nothing happened. There was no cliffhanger, but it's not that type of show. And I really loved it. And I was so happy because I kept thinking they're running out of time to show us how he died. And I thought the entire episode was going to be about his death and the aftermath of his death. And it just wasn't. But we do know that he's going to die, you know, pretty soon after this point in his life. It looked like it was like 96 during the scenes we were seeing last night of him drinking and driving and all of that. So we saw the kids at the funeral and they were teens, I feel like, or maybe, I don't know if they could be late teens, early 20s. I'm not sure, but we know it's going to happen around this time. There's something that Mandy said on Instagram, which I found interesting. She said it's also going to be interesting to find out what was the status of their relationship at the time of his death. So I feel like she's almost hinting that they get a divorce or something, which we really hadn't thought about before. But Ralph said the finale ended pretty quietly without a bang. Yeah, it really did. Really, definitely. Birkin says maybe after they found out that they would get a second season, they made a different finale. You know, maybe the plan was to show how he dies, but now they have more time. Yeah, I mean, that's possible. Vanessa thinks they will explain how Jack died in the second season. I do feel like we will get that in season 2, but I think he will always be a part of the show. I think we'll always have flashbacks with Jack, so I don't think that once we find out, you know, how he dies, that means he disappears from the show altogether. So that's a good thing about this show. Ralph says Kevin's relationship with the ex-wife will fail due to him choosing to do the movie. I completely agree because he's probably going to, I mean, pretty sure he's going to get this role because Ron Howard called him specifically. So he's going to have to move back to LA. She has a career in New York, and unless she does decide to move to LA, I don't think it's going to work out. I think maybe eventually towards the end of the whole series, I think maybe they'll get back together and get remarried, but it sucks because I did not like his other 2 girlfriends, and I really like Sophie, and I like their history and everything, but I don't think it's going to work. I mean, that's really far apart, and he's an actor, and, you know, he's got to do love scenes and everything with other women, and, you know, that can just lead the wrong way. I'm not saying that does for every actor, but I don't know. He's not even going to live in the same place as his girlfriend, so I feel like it's not going to work out either. Perkins asking what I think about Kate's new decision. So Kate's decided to be a singer, and when I saw Chrissy Metz on Wendy Williams, she actually said that she has been singing. She also is a singer, kind of like Mandy Moore, but not as famous of a singer as Mandy Moore. So I think that's so cool, and it's a nice tribute to her mom, and I'm excited to see where that goes for her. And she's kind of deciding to do this around the same age that her mom was trying to get a career, like near 40, you know. R2 says Jack seemed more real. He's not as perfect as before. Yeah, I mean, and I think that's what's really great about this show is that it's real. I mean, to me, I think it's a very real show. And we all know that nobody is perfect all the time and looks amazing all the time and is super nice all the time. So you got to see a lot about where he was coming from. I loved how they did the whole setup with how he met I want to call her Randy Moore, how he met Rebecca. And, they are both kind of either on a blind date or supposed to be on a blind date when they met each other. And just the way that they did that kind of they're always tricking us a little bit. And I think that's great. Vanessa says you think Sophie could move to LA because nurses can work at other hospitals, which we could see that happening. We definitely could see that happening. And Vanessa says, yes, that's right. Kate's saying at the retirement center for Toby's grandma. So they've already introduced that a little bit. So now maybe, I don't know if she's going to try to make a career out of it or she's going to just try to do it more like her mom did, in her free time. I don't know. So Ralph says if Kate does well in her new venture, then it will be exposed of what happened to her father because TMZ is horrible. Right. So, well, I mean, her brother's famous, so I don't know if that will ever be dug up because of him. So, the thing that's making me really curious is when Kate said last week, it's my fault that he died. Now, we all took that to mean that since when she was a teen, she had asked her dad to drive and see her mom in concert. We all thought she was taking the blame for that. So we were all like, there's no way. So now I'm wondering if that has more of a meaning. Like, do I think she really caused him to die? No, but I'm curious what that means now because it felt really innocent. Like she felt like, because she encouraged him to go see his mom, but of course he made the dumb decision to drink and drive, but nothing happened. Nothing happened at all. So we'll have to see what happens here. Ralph says Randall adopting might hurt his marriage because his wife didn't look on board with it. I found it really awesome and sweet that he wants to adopt a kid. I feel like that's his way of giving back because someone took him in and he ended up having an amazing family. So yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out with her. I personally love the idea, but that's got to be an idea, a thing that both husband and wife agree on and are in favor of and on board with. And if she is not, and they still do it, that's going to be a major problem. So Firkin says you think she was just surprised. I mean, I feel like she would go along with it because she knows how much it meant to him to be adopted and to have, this great life, a second chance at life, because when you are up for adoption, you just never know like what's going to work out. And some kids never get out of the foster care system before they're adults. So Ralph says the reason Kevin's family life is not exposed because Kevin, right. So he's constantly doing crazy stuff himself. So he's always, I think that's what you're trying to say, feeding the trolls. Yeah. So he's always doing something crazy. So he's in the news for that or in entertainment news for that. Vanessa says there has to be a specific reason for Kate to get Jack's ashes. They were close though. Okay. So maybe there is, I definitely think obviously that means something where she said that I caused his death. So I'm just really curious to see what that is. Maybe that leads up to her getting the ashes. I don't know. Fergus says you think Kate blames herself because Jack drove there and had the fight. And because of that, Rebecca had to drive back and then they had the big fight. Well, yeah, I mean, but I thought he was going to die in this episode. So when she said that she was responsible for him dying. So it would make sense to me that she blamed herself because she wanted, even if he drove there and made it safely, but when they got home, they had a fight and then he left and drove drunk or something, or he did something stupid because he was drunk and angry. But, nothing really essentially happened. Unless that's like the downfall of everything. Maybe they get separated and maybe he starts drinking all the time and he drinks himself to death or something like that. And maybe it may not be drinking because they're always a step ahead of us and that may be too easy. Ferkin says Jack died because of the fight. Well, we didn't see how he died though in the finale. So we don't know how he died. Okay. Ralph says Kate was closest to Jack and they show us this constantly because Kate is his favorite. Yeah, they had a special relationship and he could just really understand her for some reason. He understood her struggles and her issues with self-esteem and bullying and everything. And he just was the person who could always make her feel better, even when she was a little kid and when she had that incident at the pool. So I think that they have a really special bond. R2 asked if I think the fight was enough for Rebecca to ask Jack to leave. Well, I mean, it's a hard question because everybody's relationship is different and everyone has a different level of what they will accept before they've had enough or they need a break or whatever. I didn't personally, I mean, it was a bad fight. Probably for me, I don't know if that would be enough for me to kick someone out, but for me, the drinking would be the reckless behavior, the drinking and driving 2 hours while you're drinking in the car, punching someone, even though, yes, this guy crossed the line. He didn't even know what, Ben had done and he still punched him, acting like that, embarrassing me in public, doing things that would get you arrested. I'm not, I'm not down for any of that. So that would be something that would, especially since he's been down this road before and he didn't learn his lesson because he's doing it again, that would be enough for me to kick someone out. But the fight was really bad. I'm not saying that was acceptable either for either sides. But as far as how he died, I don't like to get into possible spoilers. You just never know what's circulating out there. So I see something that's possible spoiler, but I know it's probably not, no one really knows, but you just never know what people could leak or whatever. So we won't talk about possible, spoilers or things that have been leaked or whatever about how he might die. But the drinking thing might be too easy personally. I don't know. Or I personally think. Ralph says with Jack's drinking problem and his abusive relationship with his dad and never getting past it might have caused Jack to commit suicide due to him always dwelling on it. And that's a thought that I had last night because I was wondering, like, how is he going to die? Is he going to commit suicide? I thought about that. Now, right now it seems kind of like a stretch because I can't see him doing that because of his kids and he loves Rebecca so much. I do think he would be devastated if she asked for a divorce, but I think we've always kind of believed that she gets with, what's his name? Why have I forgotten his name? The other guy. She gets with her new husband after Jack died, but we don't know. I mean, that thing that Mandy said today kind of made me wonder, do they get together? Miguel, do they get together before he dies? Or, do they get divorced or something? I don't know. But I feel like, we're in the time period of when all this is going down. He's not going to live too much longer, maybe a couple years max. Miguel, yes. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think we've kind of have figured a pattern out with this show that pretty much anything they lead you to believe, they're going to switch up on us because they kind of wanted you to believe that they were each other's blind dates, which they weren't. They definitely wanted us to believe we would find out how Jack dies. We didn't. And, the way that they had the huge surprise about Randall and the firefighter and in the opening episode, they switched things around there. So I kind of feel like there's probably zero chance that drinking specifically is the reason for his death. Might he do something stupid because he's drunk? Maybe, but I think drinking and driving or alcohol poisoning is probably not going to be the cause of death just because that's where they're leading us down. Ralph says if it was a freeform show or CW, then Miguel secretly kills Jack, right? So that would be so funny. Like they all thought it was like natural causes, but we find out that Miguel did it and only Miguel knows, which was like, let's don't go there. That's funny. That could make it our murder mystery. That's how to make This Is Us, the murder mystery show. Oh my God. I always knew Miguel was shady. I still feel like he's shady, not in a way that like he's a killer, but I feel like he's always wanted to be with Rebecca. And I feel like, I'm not saying that they're going to have an affair or anything, but I just feel like it worked out for him perfectly. Like, yes, he's friends with Jack, but I feel like, yeah, he's happy he could step in, but maybe he stepped in before the death. I don't know. So that's what I don't know. Has anyone heard when this show is coming back? I would think next year sometime, maybe around the time it did. I'm trying to think, like, when did it start? Because I didn't get in on this from the beginning, so I'm not sure what month this started in. So Firkin's asking who's my fave in the show. Well, Rebecca, I know, and I know she lies, and I know she's shady, but I think it's just because I like Mandy more. But I specifically like her in her younger days. Rather, I don't really like the older Rebecca, but whatever. I love the flashbacks. I love the scenes from the 80s and the 90s and the family dynamic with the kids. But I just, for some reason, whenever Randall is involved, like I just feel like it's very emotional. Like I loved William and I love Randall's family, and he always makes me want to cry more than anybody. Like everything that, like, I wanted to cry when he said he wanted to adopt a baby. I just feel like everything with Randall is he's awesome, and it's just sad. I mean, probably like my least favorite would be like Kate and Toby. I mean, it doesn't mean I dislike them, but I love Sophie, and I like Kevin, but Kevin has his issues. Why do I think Miguel and Rebecca got together? I don't know. They don't seem very strong right now, but that's what we don't know. Did they get together because, I mean, that's pretty crappy if they got together because they, you know, her and Jack were separated because, like, that's his best friend. I mean, I'm hoping that doesn't happen because that's really low. But that might explain why they don't like Miguel. I don't know. Either way, it's weird that they got together after he died because it's like, you know, they were very close and they always went out together, and it's weird. Ralph's wondering if maybe Jack's dying wish is for Miguel to take care of his family, and Miguel is actually a stand-up guy. So we haven't thought about this, and I don't know if they've led us to believe that he dies like quickly out of the blue. Maybe he has cancer or something. You know, you can get some types of cancer that you don't last very long, a few months or whatever. Ralph says Toby is your favorite character. Okay, well, he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. So, you know, it could be something else. Heart attack. He could have a heart attack and you know, out of the blue. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Firkin doesn't like Toby either. I mean, I don't dislike him, but they're just not my faves. Like when we have scenes with just Toby and Kate, I just kind of like, oh, you know, okay. Who was Daryl, the guy he went gambling with? Asked Brianna. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever find him again. Possibly he'll, you know, reappear in the series. 7-letter word feels like killing Jack yourself. Yeah, I love Jack. I don't want him to die. Did they say that Jack died as a result of drinking? I feel like it's a big mystery. I feel like they don't want us to know right now. I don't know. I don't remember that, but hey. Vanessa's least favorite character is Beth. Oh, okay. Randall's wife? Yeah, she's okay. Well, wait, when did they said he died from drinking? How did I miss that? I love Randall though. I made a comment about Beth in one of my videos and someone got like super offended. I don't know, that's really weird. And I wasn't even saying bad stuff about it. It was just like, I don't know. It was a long time. It was one of the first episodes and I said something kind of about her and some woman like flipped out and I had to like block her from my channel because she went like, she started attacking me. You know, it's YouTube. You just never know what people are going to say. But that I'm going to have to Google that because I don't remember them saying that he died, you know, from drinking. But you could have liver disease or a heart attack. You can have all kinds of, you know, real life medical issues because of drinking. It doesn't have to be drinking and driving. Hi, Chase. Thank you for being here. Ralph says Kevin is a good character because he is a redeemable person who you can cheer for him when he gets it right. And of course, he had such a redeeming moment when he left the opening night of his play to be with his brother because that's what his dad would have done. So that was amazing. And that just shows you like deep down, Kevin's a good person. He has made mistakes a lot, like who hasn't, but I think he's becoming a better person all the time. That's what I want to think anyway. Ralph says, yeah, Randall's wife is a bit much at times. I'm with you on that. Yeah. Firkin doesn't like Kevin as a teenager at all. He was horrible to his brother. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was talking about, Kevin. He was kind of a know-it-all and conceited, and he was really, really, really mean to Randall. He just felt better than him and didn't want to have anything to do with him. And poor Randall. I felt so bad for him. Randall's like the sweetest and was the sweetest kid. Firkin loves Randall's children, and you like Randall's wife. I do love his girls. I think they're great. I do. They're very sweet. Yeah, Kevin has bad social skills and he makes the wrong decisions a lot with women. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how he handles this Sophie situation because he seems so sincere about wanting to be with her and take, you know, I feel like give this a second chance, maybe get remarried. But we're going to have to see what happens here because he's going to take this role and move to LA. And if she moves there, then I think they can make it work. And if she doesn't, I don't think that makes her a bad person because she already has a life established in New York. So we'll have to see what happens. Mandy has confirmed there will be at least 2 more seasons. Yeah, I think she said on Instagram, like, they know there's 36 more episodes at least for now. But I feel like this is the type of show that could be around for a while. Like, it's just a huge hit for NBC, and everyone loves it. So, I don't think we have any worries about it getting canceled. Ralph says the kids handling the funeral was great. Yes, it was so cool. And I was so glad that William asked them to have the funeral, but not to be a funeral and not to be sad. And great idea by William. And I will really miss William. And I feel like we won't really get him in the show anymore. Like, because we met him in present day. And we may get him some before, you know, kind of before he knew Randall, but I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe we won't with that. But I do think Jack, think he'll always be around in some way in flashbacks. I kind of freaking hate that he died, right? Like, don't you wish he was still here? I don't know. I kind of wish he were still here as like older Jack. Birkin wants more flashbacks. You love the storyline with the children. Yeah, personally, my fave is when they're in the 80s or 90s or whatever, you know, probably in the 80s. I love that when they're kids. I just love that. Vanessa says this show reminds you of Parenthood. And when was that on? I've seen a lot of people on Facebook compare it to the show 30 something, which I've never watched. I don't know if that was on in the 80s or the 90s. Ralph says this show pulls at the heartstrings and makes the toughest person teary. Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. Like, I could be in the happiest of moods, and like I felt like last night was going to be just dreadful. Like, I just expected to cry the whole time, and I was like, oh my god. But then, you know, there's some sad moments which are not even sad. Like, to me, the speech that he was giving his wife, and I say speech, but I mean that was like very heartfelt. To me, that made me want to cry because it was just so perfectly said and just so emotional. But it wasn't really sad, but it was, you know. So Parenthood was from 2010 to 2015. Huh. Was that kind of like a comedy? What? I feel like I've seen that one. Ralph says William had to die in order for Randall to change and let go of all his BS in his life. Yes, yes, and it sucks. I hated losing William. You know, I'm kind of glad we did not lose Jack too, even though we know we're gonna lose him. But that was a big death and a very emotional, sad, hard to get through episode. So I think it's okay that we didn't have, you know, basically back-to-back episodes of a major character dying. So you know, it's great that Randall stood up to the crazy people at his job that were just using and abusing him, and he left that job. And we don't know what he's going to do now because remember, he doesn't have a job. So I don't know what his wife does, but he's going to have to. That's going to be part of season 2, him rediscovering himself, like finding a new career or whatever. And Fergus says Jack is everything, and Ralph says Jack has Rick Grimes speaking skills. Yeah, I see that. But I don't know. I love Jack. I mean, he's great. I don't really know much about Milo, the actor. Like, I'm sure he's probably been in stuff that I've watched, right? Probably stuff that we've all watched. But like, for some reason, I can't think of what that is. But it's funny because I've said this before, but I really feel like maybe there is something. There's been so many rumors that he's actually dating Mandy because she's divorced, and I don't know his situation. I don't know if he's been married. But she posted a big thing about him on Instagram. So if you guys are on like Instagram and Twitter, it's cool to follow these people on there because I just love to see what they say about, you know, I just like to see what they do in their real lives. Okay, see, I've not watched Gilmore Girls and I didn't watch Heroes. So I suck at life pretty much. It's mainly more on Snapchat because that's my favorite way to follow people because I feel like you get like a more genuine sense of who they are because people put stuff on there quickly, like they don't have time to, they can't edit it or whatever. I mean, they know what they're putting on there, but sometimes it's interesting. Okay, yeah, I know I probably, you know, I'm a failure at life because I never watched Gilmore Girls, and now there's a new Gilmore Girls. So, because I've never heard anyone say like a bad word about old school Gilmore Girls, but yeah, never watched it, like missed the boat on that. But of course, I'm so excited for season 2, and who knows what they will have in store for us and what surprises they will have. Like, I'm so excited. And he was the main character in Heroes. Interesting. Oh, yes. You know what's funny? Fergus says you love Mandy in A Walk to Remember. When she started singing that song in the bar last night, it sounded like that song Only Hope from A Walk to Remember. It sounded exactly like when she sang that one, and I remember having that like on my iPod or whatever. I love that song. Like, I played it all the time. I know, shame on me about not watching Gilmore Girls. But Mandy, you know, do you guys remember when she sang, what did she sing? Candy? I mean, oh my God. She was like, I was like her biggest fan. But anyway, I loved her. Vanessa says Jason Katims, who was the producer of Parenthood, was also an executive producer for Friday Night Lights. So Friday Night Lights, oh my God, loved. That show is a show I never watched when it was on. And then for some reason I went on like a Netflix binge, or I forgot how I watched it. I think Netflix, yes. A couple years ago, and I just went crazy and watched almost all of it except for like the last season because it got canceled, right? And it came back. I don't know if you guys watched that, but I loved it. But then the last season I felt like was not good, right? I don't know. But I think the last season won some awards. But that show is good and meaningful and special, kind of like this show. You watched Gilmore Girls last month. You binged the whole thing. That's funny. What episode was my fave from this season of This Is Us? Oh God. Oh, that's hard. Gosh, it's hard. Like, I don't feel like there's been a bad episode. That's a really hard question. Maybe the most well done, even though it was the saddest, was the William episode. That was just probably everything. She sang Stupid Cupid. I mean, gosh, I like her old stuff. I like her old school, like when she was, who knows, 13. I like those songs. Ralph says, oh, the pool episode was really good. Ralph says, you feel like This Is Us is about Jack and how this guy's life affected these people's lives while he was living and long after he died. And you're also interested to learn that, it was also interesting to learn that Jack was in Vietnam. Yes, we did not know that until last night. Agree. I think Jack is such a huge character, even though he's not even in present day, which I think is cool that they're able to make him a huge character and he's not even alive, currently. Vanessa says the actor Matt Laria, who played Luke in Friday Night Lights, was in Parenthood. Okay, very cool. I like Kyle Chandler a lot too. I think he's a great actor. And I'm sure there's a lot of stuff about all of these characters that we don't know, because they're going to explore their past lives and everything because they have a lot of episodes to tell us about them. So I'm excited, it's just really good. And it's a good, sometimes it's nice to watch a show where I'm hoping no one gets murdered or there's like a serial killer on the loose or whatever. Something I've been doing actually lately, and it's probably not the best of ideas because I do it like before bed, is I have HBO Go. So I've been watching the HBO documentaries because I really love documentaries. And I watched this one. I will just say this because it's very disturbing. They sound interesting. I'll start watching them. But if you guys have it and you have some downtime, it was called The Cheshire Murders and it's a true story. Oh God. It was really disturbing. I enjoy like murder, real life murder stuff too, but sometimes that stuff really gets to me. But it's like pretty much like a movie, but it's a documentary, right? So everything was true. But I just watched that recently and I just can't stop thinking about it. It was awful. But anyway, Fergus says, it's kind of sad we'll never see the grown-up children with Jack. That makes me so sad. I wish that he could still be in it. So the guy who plays Toby was in Stranger Things, which I still haven't watched, and I know I should. And Ralph says the actor who plays Toby was also in Morgan. Is that a movie? I feel like I've seen that one. Toby is new to me. Yeah, I think my favorite episode, Vanessa, is the William one, even because it's so well done. And it's really hard for me to say least favorite, because I can't think of it. There's probably a couple that I thought weren't as strong, but like really all of them are pretty good. Yeah, the true life stories get me. I don't know. I used to be really addicted to the ID channel, which everything is pretty much real on there. And I had to stop watching it because it really got to me. Like some of the stuff, and it's all real. So it's like, oh my God, this world is sick. So I had to quit watching. I just never watched it anymore. Like I felt sick, Morgan is a sci-fi horror movie. Okay, who is the lead of Morgan? Is it is that not the one with Scarlett Johansson? She's in something like that, right? Or is Morgan the one with the kid? Maybe I haven't seen that, but I wanted to see that. Is it about a child? Anyway, that's interesting. But anyway, ID channel. Yeah, do you guys watch that? I don't know. Sometimes I just rather stick to my make-believe horror. But it's funny because with all of these things that I've watched, I've always thought about what to do if I'm in a situation where like someone is out to get me. Do you guys ever think about that? Like seriously, I know that's really dark, but Kate Mira, I know who that is. Yes. I know that's dark, but like I just feel like we should have better skills than everyone else because we've watched all these movies and shows and we should know what to do if we're in a bad situation. Scarlett is in Lucy. That was an okay movie, right? It was pretty sci-fi, but I thought it was okay. And House of Cards, I tried to watch that, and I don't really like politics, but I got really bored. And I know people who love it. I have friends who love it. They keep saying you need to watch it. Sometimes when I start a series and it's just like Scandal, I started it and I really was into it. And then for me, it just got slow. And I have friends that say it's a great now and everything, but I just can't go back to it because like it just lost my interest. Denise, yes, right? Ralph says ID channel is a serial killer channel. It is. It's crazy, but the sad thing and the sick thing is it's all real. and I had to break up with the ID channel. Vanessa says House of Cards has gone downhill, and Firkin is binging it right now. Firkin says there was one woman in the 17th century. She employed girls from the village to work for her in a castle, and then she tortured them and had a bath in their blood. That's terrible. Oh my God, that's terrible. But Firkin loves House of Cards, so that's good. Like, I don't know. I watched just a few episodes, and I'm like, it was boring to me. And I'm like, I'm done. I don't know. But I believe everyone when they tell me like it's good and I should give it a chance and all that. I believe everyone, like on all of these series. But like when a series loses me, I'm just like, I'm checked out. And like I can't go back. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've ever gone back to one that I gave up on. I don't know. But you know, such is life. But is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about with This Is Us finale before we end? There's not a lot going on lately with Riverdale on hiatus. Saturday Night Live is on hiatus. This is over. I heard Billions was really good. Oh my God, is that one guy, like that Scottish guy from, I can't, it's like I'm trying to get you guys to read my mind. Who is one of the stars in that? I think there's a guy that I really like in that. Firkin says the episodes are a little bit slower, but it gets really good. The first episodes. I thought so. I thought that's the case, but I don't know. Can't get back into it. Ralph says that is Bloody Mary or one of the Queen Elizabeths, Firkin. Damian Lewis. Okay. I think he's amazing. And that brings me to his show that was on Showtime, which really upset me, and I had to break up with it because I can't say because it's a massive spoiler, but I loved it so much. Homeland. I loved it so much. I was just talking to someone about this the other day, and they said it's still really good, but something crazy happened on that show, and I was like, nope. I wish I did YouTube videos back then because I would have gone crazy with like a reaction on that or like a chat because I got so angry. I was like, you can't tell me this is happening. And Paul Giamatti, he's brilliant, right? Okay, he's in Billions, right? The Originals. Is that the one that I was watching? No, I haven't watched The Originals. Okay, let me try that one. But Damien is just such an incredible actor. But Homeland killed me. Firkin, you should watch Homeland. I was obsessed with it. Obsessed, but they lost me because of something. But some people got past it, but I couldn't. I just couldn't. But Homeland's still on. I mean, it's still, I don't know if it's currently on, but it'll be back if not. And Billions has been renewed for a third season. Yeah, maybe I should give that a try because Damien is like the best actor. He is so good. Yeah, after you finish House of Cards, and you're still watching Vampire Diaries, right, Firkin? I love me Vampire Diaries, love me some Vampire Diaries, but and Dexter, I really recommend Dexter because there's just one season that's the John Lithgow season is so incredible. Like, it blew my mind, even though it had been spoiled for me, which really wasn't anything sinister because I gave up on that. Okay, I gave up on Dexter. There we go. I gave up on Dexter, and because it just got stupid and boring and slow. And then I saw everyone talking on Twitter about something that happened and and I was like, oh my God, something big happened on Dexter. And I was like, are you kidding me? No. And I was like, and people were like, you still need to watch it. You still need to watch it. So I watched the entire season. And I was like, oh my God, it was really good. But then the ending is the worst ending of any show. Ralph is asking me to catch up on Twin Peaks. So are you talking about Twin Peaks from like a billion years ago? And then, because there's a new one coming. I know. I should. Is it going to be weird to me? Sometimes I don't like watching like old stuff. I don't know if like I have trouble sometimes with older shows, like where it's really outdated. I don't know. Yeah, and I heard a lot of people said the Vampire Diaries series finale was good, and that's a show I gave up on, and not because I didn't like it. I think I just got busy with life or something. Firkin couldn't get into Dexter. Oh God, it's so good though. I'm telling you, like, they have a guest star. Like, one time they have Colin Hanks. They have a guest star every season. I don't know if they start that from season 1 or not, but, and they are, well, I won't tell you, but anyway, they're a big part of every season, and then they're gone. But John Lithgow was one of the guest stars for an entire season, and it's just like, he's amazing. And the season it was one of the best seasons of any show I've ever seen. You will just, hopefully you can stay away from spoilers, but you will die. You will die. You will never know what's happening. The new one is season 3 of Twin Peaks. So I could watch the new Twin Peaks, like not the old Twin Peaks, right? Betty's mom is on Twin Peaks. Which one? The old or the new one? Do I watch Fargo? That's one I had trouble with. Oh my God, no, I struggled with that so much. I could not with that. Is it still on? I really couldn't. I don't know. I had a lot. I think I watched the whole first season, but like sort of. Like I watched it with friends, and I was like, I can't with this. I don't know. I did watch Breaking Bad the whole way through, and that was great. That was before my YouTube days. Okay. So I know. So I should start the new Twin Peaks, right? Oh, season 3. Okay. So can I start Twin Peaks, new Twin Peaks without knowing about old Twin Peaks? Probably not. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You guys might like Fargo. Some of the accents drove me crazy. True Detective. Oh, God. I actually have a video on here about True Detective. I watched the first season and then I broke up with it because I hated the finale. I made a video. Most people love the finale of True Detective. I made a video about that. That's probably one of the first videos I ever made on TV shows. And it was kind of like the SNL videos where everyone told me I was a horrible person in the comments. Like all of the comments were just telling me I sucked at life and whatever. Everyone hated me for that. So Ralph says the older one is Betty's mom and she's the nicest character on the show. That's funny. Huh. Because she's not nice. I haven't watched Feud, and everyone said it was really good. I'm going to have some downtime now, so maybe I should get on that because I don't have like any shows for a minute. So it still doesn't look good to me, but that doesn't mean anything because sometimes stuff doesn't look good to me, and you guys tell me to watch it, and it's good. Okay, yeah, well, I need to try the originals. I know. I just need to try it because you guys have recommended that a lot. I love Jessica Lange. She's awesome, and Ferkin says that that's a really good show, Feud. So I will check it out. But I guess I will let you guys. Oh, it's the biggest mystery in America and even covered by the news. Twin Peaks? Wait, is Twin Peaks based on a true story? I'm getting confused. Feud is good but sad to watch. Is it a mystery or like a drama? Vanessa says the actress who plays Alice seems like good friends with Cheryl's mom in real life. That could definitely be possible. That's interesting. But I think I'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much for coming to this. It was a lot of fun, as always. And I'm glad you guys encouraged me to watch this show because that was you guys. I didn't choose it myself. And I know everyone's like Twin Peaks, you know. So I guess the new season of Twin Peaks has returned, but right? But I need to watch all the old ones from the 90s. No, I haven't returned to Sense8. I will. It's very sci-fi. I don't even know how I watch Orphan Black because that's super sci-fi. Some of the episodes of that make me kind of want to check out, but I still like it. I really like Tatiana. Twin Peaks was the #1 show in America. Okay. I've heard great things about it, so I need to probably check it out again. But thank you again for being here. It was so fun, and I love you guys, and I had a great time. And I don't know when I'll see you next, but I'll keep you guys updated on Twitter. And hopefully you guys get updates when I have a new video for those of you not on social media. Sometimes those work and sometimes those don't because I have myself signed up to like everybody, and I hardly ever get the, notifications. What's up with that, YouTube? It's so weird. May is season 3, so I could start watching some. Yes, I do watch Orphan Black, and I do videos on Orphan Black. I did videos on it last time, and like no one really watched them, but maybe you guys, this is the final season, so maybe you guys will watch it. So maybe have newer people who like Orphan Black too. I really like Orphan Black, so yeah, I'll be doing that for the series finale. Kind of sucks that it's ending because I really do like the show now that I think about it. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon, hopefully. So bye, guys.